I don't use teleprompters. Poopy diaper in 2016. I demand an investigation into why my teleprompter stopped working. Trump 2025. Well, hey, he's not lying. He didn't use a teleprompter because it stopped working, I guess. Also, I heard this somewhere, but wasn't the White House in charge of the teleprompters? Crazy. Trump has been the worst president for farmers twice, but they voted for him 3 times. Crazy that. Is it political stupidity or political Stockholm syndrome? And now they want the rest of America to give them welfare. Right, political stupidity, got it. When they did it to themselves. But trust me guys, they don't like socialism. Well, yeah, because everyone else can get screwed over, but if they get the handouts, it's patriotism. But if everyone else gets handouts, that's icky communism. There's a difference. If it's selfish, it's fine. While California Governor Gavin Newsom was meeting with world leaders, inking new deals to cut toxic pollution and create jobs, President Trump was yelling about an escalator and telling our allies to go to hell. Well, here's the thing, right? One is a politician, and the other is a man-child nepo baby in power who has about as much control over his feelings as he does his bowels. In the Oval Office, Trump says he's going to use a portion of the tariff revenues to compensate farmers who've been harmed by tariffs. Oh yeah, and then to offset the cost of that, they're going to add more tariffs. Yeah, right. Or you could just, not do the tariffs. Whoa, why fix the damage when you can double down on it? Yeah, that always works. You know, digging yourself more into a hole. Whoa, you don't get it. We need more tariffs to pay for the losses caused by the current tariffs. Yeah, we can get to a point where in order to pay the previous tariffs, we need more tariffs. It kind of puts the economy into a really simple pyramid shape. Yeah, Trump's really good at those. Not an econ major here. I say the math is valid. Well, yeah, the math is always valid with MAGA. If it's wrong, you just go la 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 la, I can't hear you. I didn't major in anything, and I say this guy's math checks out. I once looked into what major to pursue, but in my quick research, this seems as good as printing more dollars. Better than printing more dollars because other countries pay the tariffs. Yeah, we just get free money, guys. So they have the House, the Senate, and the White House. But sure, this is on the Dems. In the past 7-8 months, why would you ever think that it wasn't the Dems' fault? Stubbed your toe? The Dems. Dropped your phone in the toilet? Dems. Wife left you? Dems. It's always their fault. Democrats are about to shut down the government because they demand we fund healthcare for illegal aliens. Wow, is this just the new political strategy? Making up a fiction book of what your so-called enemy is doing? I think the only reason they're shutting down the government is because they're incompetent, because they are the majority of the government. But hey, whatever copes their boat. No, the Republicans were about to shut down the government because they're not going to get all the grift that they want in this bill. The Democrats are fighting for what's right, but the Republicans are just fighting for themselves. The political right all over. Again, everyone else can go fuck themselves, but as long as I'm not affected, right? They're not even fighting. They're just not signing off on something they were completely shut out of. Republicans wanted to do it alone, so they needed to carry it across the finish line alone. They created that big ugly bill, and now they need to carry it to term. What a weird-ass rapture. It seems only the Constitution disappeared. Yeah, and common decency and people being able to accept facts. Actually, that happened a long time ago. Was 2012 actually the rapture? I don't know. The rapture happened and we were left with all of the wacko Christians. This seems kind of unfair to the rest of us damned. Yeah, they're saying that the Epstein files did too. No, they didn't get raptured because they never existed in the first place, right? Stop calling us Nazis, they said. See, I would say this is photoshopped, but I know for sure that this isn't. And I'd say I'm shocked, but I really don't think I am. No, at this point this seems really right up their alley. I don't know who they owned with this though, but you go girly pop? When I was bullied in school, people called me gay, but I didn't start sucking dick to own them though. What a bizarre way to try and refute the allegations against him. Ah yes, you're not a Nazi, but you're gonna have a Hitler stash. Masterful gambit, sir. Lol, yeah, he is not refuting, he's embracing. Very true. Next it will be our fault that he's a Nazi because we called him a Nazi first. Hey chat, if you guys want to support this gay guy reading stuff, you should totally like, subscribe and share, cause it helps a lot. Anyways, have a great day and back to the video. The USA in movies versus the USA in real life. Well, I've seen more and more people starting to have a bit of a we the baddies moment. And for good fucking reason. Bruh, certain types of people kept on believing Homelander was the hero all through the show. Probably the same people who drive lifted pickup trucks and feel very insecure whenever they see a gay express themselves, because we can't be having that in the land of the free, can we? The same ones who are now ICE agents. But these ICE agents are pussies compared to Homelander. They go around with their faces covered up and attacking old ladies with fruit stands. There's a reason that they don't go into gang territory. They a bunch of bitches. What? No, they're the rough and tough Gestapo, ICE. And you know, nothing screams protect and serve and making the country better than like going to innocent families and disappearing innocent people. You know, that really makes America great. Uvalde should be burned into everyone's memory. That is the epitome of American law enforcement. I'm safe, you're not. Sucks to be you. Yeah, recently that whole protect and serve thing really got thrown out the window, didn't it? First they came for Tylenol and I said nothing. This post is not FDA approved. Starting October 1st, 2025, we will be imposing an 100% tariff on any branded or patented pharmaceutical product unless a company is building their pharmaceutical manufacturing plant in America. So we're targeting specific companies now. So you can home produce your notoriously extortionate pharmaceutical products which are cheap as chips everywhere else on the planet. For what reason exactly? So you can get more people into thousands and thousands in medical debt? Is build will be defined as breaking ground and or under construction. There will, therefore, be no tariff on these pharmaceutical products if construction has started. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So much for, you know, free markets and all that. Yeah, if you don't upend your logistics chain and rebuild everything in America, we're gonna tariff your product, which is gonna get charged to us. And all it's gonna do is up medical prices for people all around America, and literally no one else. Crazy. Pharma companies are now welcome to break ground on a 1 foot by 1 foot future manufacturing plant space in my yard for the low cost of $10,000 a month. Several plots will be available, but act fast. My front yard is almost already full. Funny how that was my initial thought too. That order is gonna be so easy to game. Well, that's what happens when you elect a president who's just a reactive man-child. He doesn't actually think through what he's going to be doing. And what, you think his cabinet and advisory boards who are either too stupid or too scared to say anything are going to stop him? Of course not. He's probably planning on that. He can still sell it as a win. His tribe will talk about it everywhere, but his lazy ass doesn't actually have to do anything involving work. I've got to say, it's so smart having a political policy of extorting and trying to scam foreign companies and countries for your own benefit. It really makes them willing to work with your amazing country, doesn't it? Stop antagonizing eyes. Yeah guys, stop antagonizing the Gestapo. It's not nice. Raffaella Sued, 79, a US citizen, is suing DHS for $50 million after masked agents shoved him and body slammed him during a September 9th immigration raid at his Van Nuys car wash. Don't really know how any of his supporters still think they're the good guys when, yeah, their equivalent of the Gestapo is seriously hurting US citizens because, yeah, you're really the good guys body slamming a 79-year-old man. I hope a great lawyer steps up to represent him. He'll have a pro bono line 10 miles long willing to represent him. If there's a good chance of a high payout, they'll do it for the money too, and not often charge until victory. I mean, hey, it doesn't seem good for ICE, so it's a win-win situation, I guess. Jimmy Kimmel just announced that on Tuesday, they had the second highest rated show in almost 23 years. Damn, this is one huge middle finger to Donald Trump. Yeah, what was that whole thing about them saying like it's not good to silence people or try and cancel people? Them doing the exact same thing and it backfiring on them instantly? Oh, yeah. I'm Canadian, but I tuned in to watch the show live. I knew it wouldn't help the show's viewership, but I wanted to support the show and free speech. Just a reminder, I still support democracy. Keep in mind, the people who don't support democracy are the small minority called the MAGA cult. Also, I found it so funny that I saw a tweet of the White House bragging that apparently 50% of the US approves of Trump. Yeah, that's not really a gloating point. Free speech, comedy, and art are the ultimate weapons of expression and criticism. It's why dictators try so hard to ban or censor them. A real disgrace. Escalator was broken at Trump Tower today? I've launched an investigation into this matter. Oh my. Now that is unacceptable. Anti-war administration, by the way. Yeah, Pete Kegsbreath is as much anti-war as he is anti-alcohol. Pete Kegsbreath has summoned hundreds of generals and admirals for an urgent meeting. Are you sure that he didn't just accidentally press send all or something? A senior Pentagon correspondent has said, "I've never seen anything like this in the past 30 years. We might be going to war." Or he's just incredibly incompetent. It really could be either. Or he might be making everyone take a loyalty oath. Or he might just want them to see how quickly he can down a bottle of whiskey. I must say, the suspense is killing me. I think that's the answer. War doesn't require the entirety of the generals, etc. to visit one place together. It's gonna be your duty is to the president, he's commander-in-chief, it doesn't matter if his orders are odd or seem unconstitutional, not your call. If you cannot commit today to following the commander-in-chief's orders without fail, retire now. Otherwise, sign this loyalty oath and be prepared when we need to call you to action against America's enemies. Or, even worse, they've already identified who they want gone, and will just call out names, tell them to leave their credentials and uniforms immediately, and you'll be replaced with X person effective immediately. The White House has hung portraits of US presidents along the West Wing colonnade in the Rose Garden. Excuse me, It's actually the rose patio now. Yeah, you got rid of the garden a couple of months ago. Yeah, it's now just kind of a slab of concrete. Now dubbed the Presidential Walk of Fame. But the image of former President Joe Biden is represented by an Arto pen. I think this is so much better. Oh yeah, that's more accurate. Because would Trump really be where he is without the love and support of his best friend Jeffrey?